I grew up in church as a kid, and I always knew that my heart was drawn to God. I never really thought about leaving Him or leaving church ever in my life. But growing up, I never really felt that closeness to Him. I would pray, I would try and speak to God, but I would never really feel anything back in return. I would watch other kids at church, and they seemed to be having these experiences with God, but I never really felt anything in my heart. And I remember feeling a little bit insecure about that why wasn't I experiencing that? You know, was there something wrong with me? Everything changed for me in 2012 when I was 21. I had been going to Generations Church for a couple of years at that point and never really got connected in to the point. I wasn't sort of doing much or that involved with church, but there was a winter camp coming up and for young adults, and so everybody was going. It was just the thing to do, and so I went along, and I do remember though going thinking to myself and saying to God that I want more, that I'm not happy with where I am at, that God, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to say to me, you know, say it. And little did I know that that weekend would change my life, that it would change completely the way that I saw God. Normally I'm a shy kid and it holds me back from things, but I remember thinking, I'm not going to let that hold me back this time, that I was just open to whatever God wanted to do in my life. And I remember something lit on fire in my heart that weekend. That He just was depositing something in me. And that He would start to speak about my purpose, what He wanted me to do. At one point, the preacher pointed me out and he said that God hears my voice, that He loves my voice. I would start to stand up and be heard. And at the time, I didn't really take that much notice of it, but later down the track, I realized how important that was, that God was speaking through Him directly to me about my purpose. And it's crazy, over the next 12 months, 5 people said the exact same thing to me. I just opened my Bible and the first verses that I hit with my eyes were in Jeremiah 1:5, and it said, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you. I do not know how to speak, I'm only a child." And then further down, then the Lord reached out His hand and touched my mouth and said to me, "Now I have put my words in your mouth." And I knew that God was speaking directly to me. It just hit me. My voice is important, that God's going to use my voice, even though I feel like I never know the right words to say. It was like God was suddenly alive in my life, and there was this connection on the other end that I'd never had before. It was like this best friend that I had that just spoke to me and could help me and guide me through my life. And the best part is that God is using my voice to speak His truth and to speak about Him. And I just love doing that. I just love speaking about Him. And I'm amazed at where I've come in the last 5 years. I have started and finished Bible college. I run a Bible study group. I have been preaching in church, and now I'm running the women's ministry. And for this shy girl, 5 years ago, I would not be doing that. It just wouldn't be me. I would never put my hand up to do anything like that. And I know that it's only because of God and what He's doing in my life. If you've known God, but you've never felt that you've had that real connection with Him, then I want to tell you that it takes us to actually pursue Him. I was the one that decided to go to that camp and say to God, do what you want. Like, I want more than what I've had. And that's when He showed up. because He knows that our heart's in the right place. God knows you. He knows you. And He wants to speak to you so badly. He wants you to hear Him. But we just have to take that first step towards Him.